The year is the 1300s. The place? Medieval Britain. A world where most people weren't knights or lords or heroes. They were peasants, working fields from sunrise to sunset just to survive. These peasants made the economy, and they also kept it running by buying the same things they helped create. But that raises a big question. How did money even flow in the system where almost everyone was broke?
Agriculture wasn't just important, it was everything. About 80% of the population farmed, and 70% of them were serfs, people who worked on land owned by nobles and paid rent to stay on it. The land was split into huge open fields divided by dirt paths. Each serf usually got 3 strips, following the 3-field system. One for grains, one for vegetables, one left empty to regain nutrients. This boosted productivity without any fancy technology. Livestock, there was a whole extra field for that. A kind of medieval community storage room where everyone shared animals. The little money peasants earned went right back into rents, tools, foods, and taxes. Because yes, taxes existed even back then.
So our next point will be the upgraded peasants. Some peasants actually had it better than others. They owned mills for grinding wheat, ponds for catching fish, and sheep to use for wool. Wool was a medieval gold mine, a massive trade good that could be spun, woven, and sold for real profit. Even nobles and monks raised livestock. Basically, if it produced wool, milk, or meat, everybody wanted it.
Weaving, brewing, and simple crafts were often done by women, and their goods ended up in the weekly market. These markets were only allowed if the local lord had a royal charter. Translation, if the king didn't approve it, you weren't selling anything. Not every village had one, so peasants walked from nearby areas just to trade. Some towns even built market halls next to churches, which later doubled as places where the king allowed trials. Imagine being judged in the same place you bought vegetables.
Zancan fairs, basically medieval Comic-Cons, but with more livestock. Held once or twice a year, they were packed with spices, rare goods, iron tools, games, tournaments, and feasts. And because traders traveled long distances, special laws protected them to make sure nobody robbed or scammed them.
Even though peasants were the lowest class, they were surprisingly self-sufficient. They made or gathered firewood, clothes, and basic tools. They lived in simple houses with thatched roofs and mud and wood frames. Food was a community effort. The blacksmith fixed tools, the millwright kept the mill running, the baker turned grain into bread, and the village cow provided milk for everyone. Their diet? Mostly bread and soup, with beer as their reward after surviving a brutal workday.
Religion controlled daily life. The pastor wasn't just a priest, he was influential, sometimes even advising the Lord. When the Lord left, the steward ran the estate, and the bailiff oversaw the fields. Crops were harvested at set times with the best portions going straight to the Lord or the towns. Most peasants only kept small amounts for survival. The entire village, whether a cluster of houses or scattered farms, functioned under the Lord's control. Rent plus taxes equaled the price of staying alive.
Our next point will be the system breaks, famine and plague. A system so dependent on agriculture had a fatal flaw. When agriculture fails, everything collapses. In the 14th century, colder temperatures ruined harvests. The Great Famine hit, and then the Black Death wiped out 60% of the population. With lords still demanding rents and taxes, countless families lost their homes, their work, and their loved ones. Grain prices crashed so hard that many farmers went bankrupt instantly.
Enter Wat Tyler and John Ball, 2 men preaching ideas centuries ahead of their time. Equality, fair wages, lower taxes. Using religion and raw charisma, they rallied thousands of peasants to march on London. For a moment, it looked like the system might actually break. But Tyler was assassinated, Ball was arrested, and without leaders, the revolt collapsed. The system remained exactly the same.
In the end, medieval Britain ran on a strict hierarchy, a farming economy, and a system designed to keep peasants permanently at the bottom. Even though the entire country relied on their labor, peasants had almost no path to rise socially. The economy needed them, but never let them move up.